look at these beautiful houses. Today we are at the Ann Norton Sculpture Gardens. Let's go see what's inside.
All right. Listen to that, right? It's hollow, right? And look, show them how it moves. How cool is that? You can twirl it around, right? So this was Ann Norton's largest work that she did just before she passed away. And they're actually renovating it right now. And we're going to learn more about Ann Norton and all of the work that she did as we go through her sculpture. So she actually used to live in this house with her husband. This sculpture is called Asia.
Oh, I thought it said Asia.
Asia. Can you move that one? That one's called Zia. Does it move? She said all of them move. Maybe not that one. That one's pretty big. Oh, that one moves. That's pretty cool. Most sculptures don't move, right? So Gino, that's his particular style.
Alright guys, so now we're going into the cooler part. It's on the front of the map.
Yep. And
I'm
what's
getting shade from the car.
yeah, look at all these palm trees. And I think they said they have over, what, 21 different types of palm trees?
100. No. 1 point.
No, she has. It's 1.2 acres. The sculpture gardens are, but they have over 21 different types of palm trees.
Oh.
Yeah, look at these, beautiful. Wow, it's amazing. From 1965.
Alright guys, so we are in the cooler part. And it's called the 7 Bs. Here's the sign for it. It was made in 1965. There's so many palm trees. Just to tell you that. So here's the whole map. We were just here. Now we are here. Then we might go to this slat house maybe. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's over there. And there's a bunch of sculptures. Like this is her biggest one. This is the 7 beings which we are at right now. This is the gateway.
You cooling off?
Yeah. Look at this. It's a cute little tree. It looks like it has like pointy hands.
Yeah, or like a
Really
little
long.
tutu.
Well, the tutu would be like maybe here.
It's called a hurricane palm.
What does that mean?
That's the name of it. Look at this though. She made all of these by hand. The mosquitoes are out heavy, guys. And Zoe's allergic to mosquitoes. Look at these beautiful trees.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Look at my new hairstyle. I am at a palm tree carnival.
You're at a palm tree carnival? So all the palm trees right there, that's your costume?
All the palm. I just felt a mosquito.
There's 50 zillion geckos. Here is one.
Okay, I'm just gonna take 1 minute to tell you about the geckos. I just saw one, and they're like running around crazy, like it's a party, and
All over Florida. We've seen them all over,
Florida,
right?
even at our hotel. It is so annoying. They're like rats in New York. I don't like them. If you like geckos, comment below. Or if you don't like geckos, comment below.
You guys, it is so hot today, and the geckos are running around everywhere crazy. Like Zoe said, they're like the rats in New York. It's kind of crazy. I feel like we're gonna step on them. Anyway, we're gonna go to the next part of the exhibit, so follow us.
I think me and you just saw a black gecko.
Yeah, I saw a black one with white speckles on it.
Are we lost in this place?
Look at the map and see where we're going next.
It's cold in here.
Yeah. And this is where she made all her work.
There's another gecko.
There's another gecko in here. Wow.
Why didn't she put that in the seven?
Seven persons?
Yeah, 7 people.
Or 7 people? I don't know. She probably picked which one she liked best. I like the wood, right? The wood carving ones.
Oh, look at the saints back there.
Wow. There's a picture of her, Zoe. So she was born in 1905 and died in 1982.
That's a picture.
And there she is when she was younger.
I'm gonna sleep in here.
Why?
Because it's cold and I like cold.
It is very hot today. That is true. But you wouldn't sleep in an art studio. This is where you would do your work.
Ann Norton.
Yeah, that's her full name, right?
Ann Norton.
What do you think of her work? I wonder how long it takes her to make this stuff. These are good questions to ask when we go talk to somebody, right?
1,000 hours, maybe.
You think?
Oh!
What is wrong?
When are we gonna find a way out?
Zoe, these are my favorite flowers. Come look. They're beautiful. Look at this pretty little garden. Nice. Look at these.
The one thing I like about this place is that the sculptures are cool and like they're handmade and they're made out of bricks. Now we're gonna go in the museum and talk to one of the employees and learn how she made this. Come on, let's go. I'm here with Miss Donna at the Ann Norton Sculpture Garden.
Uh-huh.
And she's gonna tell us a little bit about Ann Norton.
Right. Well, Ann Norton was born in 1905 in Selma, Alabama, now famous for other things. But she was a Southern gal, very tiny physically, but also very mighty and feisty as a spirit, and doing things as a maverick from the time she was a young girl. She went north to college, to Smith College, and during that time, even though she didn't study art in school, she actually fell in love with Italian sculpture in particular on trips to Europe. So she then ended up staying in New York City about 13 years, apprenticing with well-known sculptors, winning contests and honing the craft of sculpting. And she survived basically as a starving artist through the 1930s. Do you know what happened in the 1930s? It was a big depression. Very difficult time financially for a lot of people all around the world. And so she was an artist trying to stay true to what she felt was her mission or her calling, which was to create sculpture and art. And she did survive it and was winning contests and even getting customers. But then when World War II hit, they rationed metal, which means they wouldn't allow the public to use it. They had to use it for the war effort. So here she was again between a rock and a hard place. That's why she looked around for a teaching position. And at age 36, she got hired right here in West Palm Beach, Florida at the new Norton Gallery of Art that also opened a Norton School of Art. And she, Ann, became the first sculpture teacher at the Norton School of Art from 1942 and taught there 6 years.
How long does it take Ann Norton to do the big sculptures?
Well, it's hard to say exactly because if you think about it, and in fact in the room that you haven't seen yet, you're going to see prototypes of this Himalayan sculpture out here. Most of the brick sculptures, she started with a concept in her mind and then she made prototypes out of plaster and then revised or refined her designs. Then she brought in clay and molded clay into the specific bricks that make up each of the sculptures, fired them in a kiln one by one in her studio, and then would cart them out maybe by wheelbarrow to the site where they now stand. And then she had to piece all those bricks together like a puzzle. So we do know they took at least a year once the bricks were made and then they were put into place. But how much time she spent thinking and planning, we're not even really sure. She didn't put dates in her sketchbooks from the time she had original ideas. Now the Himalayan sculpture out here, which was her last work that she worked on in 1979 when she was quite ill with cancer and a few years before her death. We do know this took her about a year to 18 months to install this 48-foot long masterpiece.
And how did she get the inspiration to call it Himalayan Mountains?
Well, it's actually entitled Horizontal Untitled, so she didn't give it a title. Some say it's because she wanted you as the viewer to, when you look at it, to see what you want in it. But, you know, that was a kind of private area of her life. She had been a longtime friend of the brother of the Dalai Lama, and through that connection, got to meet the Dalai Lama himself, who was the Tibetan Buddhist spiritual leader. So she traveled to northern India and Nepal, actually, and this was the outgrowth of that very special and probably private part of her life that in the day when she was creating this wasn't sort of the done thing. And she was very private, like I said, and actually quite a shy lady. So that we know was her inspiration, and in fact the prototypes in the other room are entitled Mount Everest. So it just took us a while to make the connection, and it was only about 10 years ago we discovered this Tibetan connection. In fact, in the exhibition you're going to see in the rooms here now, you're going to see some works that are Tibetan monks in their saffron robes and their ceremonial hats that look like bird beaks and so on. For many years people assumed that those were rocks or roosters, because we have evidence of that.
Yeah.
If there's a rooster in the other room, you'll see why they thought they were roosters. And it was only in 2008 we discovered the Tibetan connection and connected the dots.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
So she only used hand tools?
She did.
For everything, wow.
Yeah. And
It's amazing.
she duct taped up her favorite ones.
She duct taped them?
Yeah. You didn't see them in the case in the studio?
That's so funny.
This is an animal sketch when she thought about it.
And then what happened?
This one,
The pastel?
did she think about that too?
Yeah, so she started with a sketch with very simple lines, which are the black lines outlining here, and then brought in the colors of the pastel chalk in these saffron color robes of Tibetan monks, but with these ceremonial headdresses. It kind of does look like a rooster, you know, the thing on top of a rooster, but once we knew that part of her history, then many
It made
other things
sense.
came alive and made sense, yeah. So this is a very rare piece, actually. It's made, you want to feel it? Feel it. It's it's brass, cold brass. And she actually won a contest with this in a very young age. So what's another unusual thing about Ann Norton is that she worked in so many different mediums. This is brass. In the studio you saw bronze. Right here you're seeing watercolors, sketches, pastels. You saw the brick sculptures, stone sculptures, wood sculptures. And so it's very rare for an artist not only to work at such high level of excellence in so many mediums, but also she changed her style over the years. So she was always growing, learning, and changing, just like you.
If you're in the Palm Beach area, you should check out Ann Norton Sculpture Gardens. I'll put the link down below. Thank you, Miss Donna.
My pleasure, Zoe. Thanks to you. Glad you came.
Yeah, I like this.
You liked it? Yeah, it was beautiful.
Awesome. Beautiful.
Thank you, Miss Donna. So, Miss Donna, can you tell us a little bit about the palm trees here at the
I'd
gardens?
be delighted, yeah. We actually have the second largest collection in the state of Florida. After a park in Miami, which has 25 acres, we have only 1.7 acres at this point. We have over 250 species of rare and many of them endangered palms brought into the garden first by Mr. Norton with his vision, and secondarily by a friend and colleague of Ann Norton's, Sir Peter Smithers, who was a garden designer. And in fact, he didn't get knighted, however, for his garden design. He was knighted for his so-called diplomatic services, which was actually as a spy during World War II. He was assigned down to Mexico and other countries where he became an expert in palm trees. So when Ann Norton knew her days were limited when she was diagnosed with cancer, she brought in Sir Peter, and he helped her design not only the pathways that you now see in the garden, which has become a public place, not just her private garden, but also he brought in the additional 150 or so extra species of palms. So we have somewhere between 250 and 300 species of rare palms in our garden.
That's amazing. We were way off. Zoe and I, we said what, 20?
We've got 18
We were way
listed
off.
here in the map, but,
Okay,
yeah.
so maybe that's where we got
That's
it.
right, yeah.
It's exquisite. So thank you so much for showing us. And
Sure.
like Zoe said, if you guys are here in the area, we will put the link below, and you need to come check it out.
ANSG.org for Ann Norton Sculpture Gardens.org. And while you've got your camera out right here, this sculpture is a medal or a trophy that was awarded posthumously to Ann Norton and to the gardens just in April of this year, 2019, by the Florida Artists Hall of Fame in Tallahassee, Florida.
Nice.
So it's a rare honor and well-deserved. And finally,
Great. Thank you so much.